Hi, I'm Tracey Hoyt, and I'm honored to be on Katie Chats. Here's Katie.
Hello.
Mamu, mamu, NNP. Mamu, mamu, nanu, nanu, papu, papu, papu. You said poo.
You are. Katie Ullman reporting for Katie Chats in downtown Toronto with actor and voice specialist Tracey Hoyt. Tell me, how did you initially get into the business?
Well, I've been acting 26 years now, which I can't even believe. I was an actor from a pretty young age, not professionally, but I was a bit of a ham and loved impersonating people from the get-go. My mother said she knew I was an actor when I was 3. So I always was in theater stuff when I was a kid and dance and all that kind of stuff. But I did my first real training at Theatre Aquarius in Hamilton, and then I moved to Toronto, went to Young People's Theatre, studied at the Second City. So I've always been into classes. I still take classes to this day because they work and they make you a better actor. So yeah, I started by taking classes, then I went to York University, got my theatre degree there, studied at the Banff Centre. Then I worked at Second City, toured with Second City, had a theatre career. I'm answering all kinds of questions you haven't asked me yet. So.
How were you influenced by your father, Sandy Hoyt, who was a very distinguished radio personality?
That's a lovely question. Well, my father, of course, he was very good at what he did, and a lot of people assumed that I would go into radio because he was in radio. I never wanted to be that girl. I never wanted to use nepotism to get into the business, and I didn't really want to be a broadcaster. I knew I wanted to do funny voices, but I didn't think I wanted to be on the radio. So it's funny because I could have gone into radio and television at Ryerson. I was accepted into that program, but I didn't want people to think it was because of who my dad was. So I went into theater instead, and ironically, I do more voiceover for radio than anything else. So the thing I tried to avoid is what I attracted, of course. So yeah, I do a lot of radio commercials, and I teach people who do voiceover, and I often work with men who, my father's passed now, but I work with men in his age category, and I still feel like sometimes he's in the room because there's a style of that age of performer that I still have a real soft spot for. So yeah, so he definitely was an influence. My dad was very good at what he did and had a really strong work ethic, and I think he passed that on to me. So.
What was it like being nominated for 2 Geminis for the tournament?
Oh my gosh, I've never been asked that in my whole career. What a nice question. Well, it was awesome because it was an ensemble nomination, which made me really, really proud. It was a show called The Tournament for CBC TV. It was my first lead role in a series. It took a long time to get that part. And I remember reading that script and just knowing in my whole body that that was my part. And the cast was exquisite, and just being nominated as a group was just the coolest feeling ever. Because, of course, at Second City, it's always about your partners. It's not about you. It's about the other people in the scene. And that show, we had so much free rein to improvise. They just kept the camera rolling after every monologue and every scene. So being nominated as improvisers was really exciting, too. I still get shivers when I think about it. Felt really good.
And as you said, you were a teacher at Second City, and you now teach at Pirate Voice. Yeah. How has teaching helped you as an actor throughout your career?
I taught at Second City for 8 years, and it became really clear to me right away that by teaching improvisation, it made me more lucky when I was improvising. It made me feel more privileged to be in the room, on the stage, in the scene. And when I teach people voiceover, it's the same feeling I get when I'm in the studio as an actor. It just makes me more excited about the process, and it makes you realize that every single audition counts. You know, I treat every audition like the real job, because it's way more fun that way. But teaching has made me a better actor. There's no question about it. It's made me very grateful to be an actor. So,
what are you focusing on at Pirate Voice?
We mainly focus on commercial voiceover, so I teach monthly classes during the school year. I do private coaching in the evenings. We work after hours in the studio, and I've been doing voice reels with one of our engineers, Spencer Hall, for about 4 years now. So that's been a really exciting progression, you know, not just the process, but the results of helping create a voice reel that goes out into the market. So that's been really exciting.
And you've been on countless animated series and shows and all types of things, like Sailor Moon, for example, which I was a big fan of. Yeah. Yes. What were some of your career highlights?
In animation, it was a short-lived series. It was an SMITHEE sketch, Bob and Doug McKenzie, and it became a one-year series for Global TV. So I think it was called Bob and Doug, and I played the local news reporter, which was really fun. She was a really, really fun character. A Cat in the Hat, a really adorable series starring Martin Short. That's still on the air on PBS and CBC and Treehouse. That was my longest-term animation gig, and I play a lot of characters on that show. So that's been, I'd say those are 2 of the highlights for sure.
And what are your goals for the future?
You know, I mentioned earlier I'm still taking classes. I've been taking improv classes with one of my best friends, Kate Ashby, for the last 4 years. And I love being a student so much that in theater school they told me to stop being a student. They said, okay, now you have to go out and be an actor. Don't go to grad school. Stop being in a class and be an actor. I just love the process. And so Kate and I have been developing a project together for the last year. That's kind of my next big project I have in mind. The two of us are creating something together, an improvised project. We've been workshopping it, and that's been really exciting. So I'm hoping that we actually complete that in the new year. So that's something we can do again and again in the future, but we've had our first baby steps into that just recently. So.
And what advice would you give to an aspiring actor and voice artist as well?
I always say to people the best advice I can give, especially if you're starting out, is to find a great mentor. And that's easier said than done. You have to really trust your gut about that, about someone that really hears you and notices what your strengths are and knows how to push you in a way that's really loving, but also kind of tough loving. Do you know what I mean? And I've been very blessed with two very, very extremely supportive mentors in my career, one for teaching, one for voiceover. And it's just amazing how when people give that kind of generosity to you, it just makes you want to do that for other people. So first is find a great mentor. Please ask me the question again, because of course I talk a lot.
Advice to someone starting out as an actor or a voice artist.
Yeah, find a mentor and stay in classes, because there's always more to learn. We never fully get it as actors. Life changes us, you know, grief changes us, and as we change, our work changes. So I think it's really important to mix it up, to try different classes, to take risks, singing classes, breath classes, things that you would never normally do, dance classes, stuff that's going to get you out of your comfort zone and take bigger risks. I think it's always a good idea, and always trust your gut about that. If something scares you, jump in. That's my advice.
And where's the best place to find out more information on you and on Pirate Voice online?
Well, I guess as an actor, the best place is to go to IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, to find out all my legit credits for the last 26 years. And certainly for voice, for the teaching that I do, piratevoice.com has all kinds of information and testimonials and stuff about what we do. And I'd be happy to send people examples of the reels that we make and things like that. But we're really proud of what we're doing there. So thanks for helping me plug it.
Thank you so much. Congratulations on a tremendous career, and best of luck in the future.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm Katie Allman reporting for Katie Chats in downtown Toronto.